The Israelites again did evil in the Lord's sight, so the Lord handed them over to the Philistines for 40 years. There was a man named Manoah from Zorah, from the Danite tribe. His wife was infertile and childless. The angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her, "You are infertile and childless, but you will conceive and have a son. Now be careful. Do not drink wine or beer, and do not eat any food that will make you ritually unclean. Look, you will conceive and have a son. You must never cut his hair, for the child will be dedicated to God from birth. He will begin to deliver Israel from the power of the Philistines." B. The woman went and said to her husband, "A man sent from God came to me. He looked like God's angel. He was very awesome. I did not ask him where he came from, and he did not tell me his name. He said to me, 'Look, you will conceive and have a son. So now, do not drink wine or beer, and do not eat any food that will make you ritually unclean. For the child will be dedicated to God from birth till the day he dies.'" Manoah prayed to the Lord, "Please, Lord, allow the man sent from God to visit us again, so he can teach us how we should raise the child who will be born." Shet 2. God answered Manoah's prayer. God's angel visited the woman again while she was sitting in the field. But her husband Manoah was not with her. The woman ran at once and told her husband, "Come quickly, the man who visited me the other day has appeared to me." So Manoah got up and followed his wife. When he met the man, he said to him, "Are you the man who spoke to my wife?" He said, "Yes." Manoah said, "Now, when your announcement comes true, how should the child be raised, and what should he do?" The angel of the Lord told Manoah, "Your wife should pay attention to everything I told her. She should not drink anything that the grapevine produces. She must not drink wine or beer, and she must not eat any food that will make her ritually unclean. She should obey everything I commanded her to do." Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, "Please stay here a while, so we can prepare a young goat for you to eat." The angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "If I stay, I will not eat your food. But if you want to make a burnt sacrifice to the Lord, you should offer it." He said this because Manoah did not know that he was the angel of the Lord. Manoah took a young goat and a grain offering and offered them on a rock to the Lord. The Lord's messenger did an amazing thing as Manoah and his wife watched. As the flame went up from the altar toward the sky, the angel of the Lord went up in it, while Manoah and his wife watched. They fell face down to the ground. Manoah's wife gave birth to a son and named him Samson. The child grew, and the Lord empowered him. The Lord's Spirit began to control him in Mahane Dan between Zorah and Eshtaol. Samson went down to Timnah, where a Philistine girl caught his eye. When he got home, he told his father and mother, "A Philistine girl in Timnah has caught my eye. Now get her for my wife." Samson went down to Timnah. When he approached the vineyards of Timnah, he saw a roaring young lion attacking him. The Lord's Spirit empowered him, and he tore the lion in two with his bare hands, as easily as one would tear a young goat. But he did not tell his father or mother what he had done. Some time later, when he went back to marry her, he turned aside to see the lion's remains. He saw a swarm of bees in the lion's carcass, as well as some honey. He scooped it up with his hands and ate it as he walked along. When he returned to his father and mother, he offered them some, and they ate it. But he did not tell them he had scooped the honey out of the lion's carcass. Then Samson's father accompanied him to Timnah for the marriage. Samson hosted a party there, for this was customary for bridegrooms to do. When the Philistines saw he had no attendants, they gave him 30 groomsmen who kept him company. Samson said to them, "I will give you a riddle. If you really can solve it during the 7 days the party lasts, I will give you 30 linen robes and 30 sets of clothes. But if you cannot solve it, you will give me 30 linen robes and 30 sets of clothes." On the 4th day they said to Samson's bride, "Trick your husband into giving the solution to the riddle. If you refuse, we will burn up you and your father's family." Did you invite us here to make us poor?" So Samson's bride cried on his shoulder and said, "You must hate me. You do not love me. You told the young men a riddle, but you have not told me the solution." He said to her, "Look, I have not even told my father or mother. Do you really expect me to tell you?" She cried on his shoulder until the party was almost over. Finally, on the seventh day, he told her because she had nagged him so much. Then she told the young men the solution to the riddle. The Lord's Spirit empowered him. He went down to Ashkelon and killed 30 men. He took their clothes and gave them to the men who had solved the riddle. He was furious as he went back home. Samson's bride was then given to his best man. Samson went and captured 300 jackals and got some torches. He tied the jackals in pairs by their tails and then tied a torch to each pair. He lit the torches and set the jackals loose in the Philistines' standing grain. He burned up the grain heaps and the standing grain, as well as the vineyards and olive groves. Philistines went up and burned her and her father. Samson said to them, "Because you did this, I will get revenge against you before I quit fighting." He struck them down and defeated them. Then he went down and lived for a time in the cave and the cliff of Etam. B. The Philistines went up and invaded Judah. They arrayed themselves for battle in Lehi. The men of Judah said, "Why are you attacking us?" The Philistines said, "We have come up to take Samson prisoner, so we can do to him what he has done to us." So 3,000 men of Judah went down to the cave and the cliff of Etam, and said to Samson, "Do you not know that the Philistines rule over us? Why have you done this to us?" 2. When he arrived in Lehi, the Philistines shouted as they approached him. But the Lord's Spirit empowered him. The ropes around his arms were like flax, dissolving in fire, and they melted away from his hands. He happened to see a solid jawbone of a donkey. He grabbed it and struck down 1,000 men. Samson went to Gaza. There he saw a prostitute and slept with her. The Gazites were told, "Samson has come here." So they surrounded the town and hid all night at the city gate, waiting for him to leave. They relaxed all night, thinking, "He will not leave until morning comes. Then we will kill him." Samson spent half the night with the prostitute. Then he got up in the middle of the night and left. He grabbed the doors of the city gate, as well as the 2 posts, and pulled them right off, bar and all. He put them on his shoulders and carried them up to the top of a hill east of Hebron, Ved. After this, Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah, who lived in the Sorek Valley. The rulers of the Philistines went up to visit her and said to her, "Trick him. Find out what makes him so strong and how we can subdue him and humiliate him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 silver pieces." Delilah said to Samson, "Look, you deceived me and told me lies. Now tell me how you can be subdued." He said to her, "If they tie me tightly with brand new ropes that have never been used, I will become weak and be just like any other man." So Delilah took new ropes and tied him with them and said to him, "The Philistines are here, Samson." The Philistines were hiding in the bedroom, but he tore the ropes from his arms as if they were a piece of thread. The Philistines captured him and gouged out his eyes. They brought him down to Gaza and bound him in bronze chains. He became a grinder in the prison. His hair began to grow back after it had been shaved off. 2. The rulers of the Philistines gathered to offer a great sacrifice to Dagon their god and to celebrate. They said, "Our God has handed Samson, our enemy, over to us. When the people saw him, they praised their God, saying, "Our God has handed our enemy over to us, the one who ruined our land and killed so many of us." When they really started celebrating, they said, "Call for Samson so he can entertain us." So they summoned Samson from the prison, and he entertained them. They made him stand between two pillars. Samson called to the Lord, "Oh, sovereign Lord, remember me. Strengthen me just one more time, oh God, so I can get swift revenge against the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars that supported the temple, and he leaned against them. With his right hand on one and his left hand on the other, Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines." He pushed hard, and the temple collapsed on the rulers and all the people in it. He killed many more people in his death than he had killed during his life, too. The story of Samson is a powerful reminder about the importance of obedience to God and the dangers of temptation. It teaches us that our gifts are from God and can be lost if we stray from His path. Yet, it also shows that even in our failures, true repentance can lead to redemption and ultimate victory. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe for more.